Hey there, Pike. How are you, sir?
Hello, doing good.
I love how bad these intros are. God damn it! Just one of these days, I will get there. You know,
Dude, when I have to take like a phone call, like a serious phone call, I actually practice to myself beforehand how I'm gonna say hello, because it just never goes like this with us. It seems like the hello part is the worst. So I'll
Hello
sit there
there,
in a
friend.
room going, hello, hello, hey, what's up, and seeing what sounds best, and none of them do.
and how many hellos do you have to go through in order to nail it?
I don't know. It seems like I always come up with a plan. Like, all right, we're gonna go with, "Hey, this is Pike," and then I'll answer the phone. And I'll be like, hi.
All right, good.
In my head.
You're more neurotic than I am, and I didn't think that was possible.
Oh, crazy.
Oh
Yes.
man, yeah, Pike, you gotta work out some of these demons, bro.
You gotta just work out in general. That's what I gotta do, man. I think that would help.
Dude, look at this, man. Before we get into the show, real quick, let me just say hello. Thank you for being here. Really, really appreciate it. I set up the hotkey so I can cut now to each other. So when you're talking, I can cut to you, cut to me. I'm trying to upgrade this whole thing, which is good. It's exciting. However, my family's trying to downgrade my whole thing, because you can see here in the background, my daughter ripped down one of these acoustic foam tiles here on the wall that I have displayed. Just came up and just went whoosh, and I'm like, son of a bitch. And then I'm just gonna say fuck it, you know.
Well, can't you just like glue stick it back up there? How is it up there in the first place?
It's up there by. Can I take it off like this?
Was that like a Velcro?
Oh, I don't know if you saw that. This is
No.
I tried putting tape on it. This is one of those contact 3M,
Yeah.
you know, Velcro thingies, and it really.
Oh, those suck. No wonder she ripped it off.
I thought they were great. You don't like these?
No, I hung stuff up with that, and the shit just falls down in the middle of the night. It's horrifying.
It knows. It knows when you're sleeping specifically. They're like, let's get it.
It does.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, welcome to the show. I believe this is episode 260. So thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. That's Pike. And I'm Sparks. There's Pike. I'm Sparks. And this is the show. Sparks Show, episode 260. We're going to dive into it. So before we do, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate you hanging out. And before we get to the news, can I tell you something that happened today?
Please do.
Dude, I got COVID tested today.
What?
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine. I have no symptoms. I don't think I have it, you know, but people can be asymptomatic and whatever. But I went and got tested, and I've done it twice now. Have you been tested yet? Have you gotten any?
Yeah, one time.
Yeah.
One time.
And what was that like?
Horrifying. It was terrible. It was the one up the nose, and they're like,
Okay.
we're going to count to 5. And so they shove it up there, and it's like 1 and 2 is fine. Then it gets to 3, and I let out like oh God. And she's like, I know. It's just like, I felt such a baby. She's like, I know. She had to comfort me. It's okay.
Yeah, she had to like rub your back like a child. It's okay. It's
And
all
she's
right.
wearing like a hazmat suit, obviously. But no, I didn't have it, so that was good.
Yeah, I know, that is the best part. Yeah, exactly. The first time I went in, I got the mouth one.
Okay.
I was like, okay, this is going to be pretty. That was easy. It was no big deal. I actually filmed it. I pulled up in my car. It's like going through the drive-through. He's like, it's done. All right, cool. And I had my results in 24 hours. So I was like, dude,
Nice.
this is easy.
How deep do they go with the mouth? Is it deep? I'm genuinely curious. Or is it just like a tongue
I can't
swab?
take that question seriously. How deep do they go with the mouth?
Was it
What are you
unpleasant,
doing?
or did you have any issues? Okay.
It was very pleasant, and I enjoyed it greatly. And I would absolutely do it again, Pike. Thank you.
Okay. Got it.
No, they hit it. You know where like the creases between your jaw, like where your jaw's like where you have the you know, this part back
Oh,
here,
yeah.
this little
The hinge.
fulcrum
Yeah.
hinge, yeah. That's where they shoved like a Q-tip in there. But today was different. Today was, we have some friends coming over this weekend, and he's a doctor. And so he's like, yeah, we'll come up, and I'm like, I think me and him are the only two left that are still paranoid about COVID. And so I'm like, well, we're going to get tested. Are you going to get tested? And they're like, yeah. And I figured, he's a doctor. He understands how to wash his hands. He's in quarantine. He gets it. He's like, yeah, I believe in science, which is nice. So I was like, if you're in quarantine, I'm in quarantine. Come on up. Let's hang out here before I'm moving. They live in Phoenix. And I've known them since Omaha. I've known them for a long time. And they're very cool people.
You just have like doctor friends throughout the country? How does this happen? You're a radio guy.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have doctor friends. He lived in the building, the same apartment building that I lived in when he was in med school.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I've known him since before he was a doctor, and now he is a doctor. And now that's how old I am. Is that all my friends were something like idiots before. Now they've grown smart, and I've stayed an idiot.
Yeah, that's nice of him to still hang out with you.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So he's coming up,
kind of.
He's coming up with his wife. They got tested, so we were like, all right, we'll get tested. And today was totally different. It was like, first of all, we had to park in the parking lot. You had to get up and you had to walk. And already I was like, bro, what a downgrade if I got to move somewhere, Before I could just drive, roll down my window was enough. How do you expect people to keep coming and getting tested if, now they got to move?
Yeah, you're going to make it the most inconvenient thing.
Yeah. I'm going to walk up these stairs. So it was over.
God.
Yeah. I was like, oh, God, it's awful. It was an escalator, so they were moving stairs. But at the same time, like, this is way too much work. So I got up to the, I rode the escalator, exhausting. I go inside, I make the little loop-de-loop. They're like, you have an appointment? I was like, yes. God damn, who doesn't make an appointment for these things? So we walk in, totally different. They have this whole system set up, and they make me wait at station number 2. So I go to station number 2, and now there's like people behind me. I'm like, bro, back away. This is the one place, if I'm in the grocery store, I get it. Yeah, people can be contagious here, but this is the fucking testing center. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
These are people who either have to be there or are feeling a little, peckish at the moment. I'm like, oh no. Oh no, I don't like this at all. So I go up to the table, and they have a table set up in like a star formation, like this. So it's like one person stand at the end of the table here, one person stand at the end of the table here. It's like spread out like a picture, like a starfish. And
Okay.
At the end of each point you stand. Dude, the dude was like a dictator telling us how to do it. First, I want you to pull down your mask below your nose, not below your mouth. I was like, oh, okay.
God.
All right, this is going to be weird. I thought don't you need my mouth for this? Jeez, no. Don't you? Yeah. All right. Save that one for later.
You were there for a different reason.
Yeah. So then all of a sudden I look down, and there's like a test tube, and there's like a massive Q-tip. And I'm like, oh no, it's a nose one. Sure enough, dude. It was a nose one.
It was a nose one.
It was a nose one. But unlike you, he wasn't there to comfort me, because he was about 12 feet away from me yelling at me directions. And I'm surrounded by fucking morons because they couldn't figure out anything. And it's obvious that this guy didn't want to get close to anyone, which is, I respect the hell out of the National Guard dude or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But, dude, these people around... Now, I'm not saying... I've already prefaced the fact that I'm an idiot, okay? My doctor friend is a smart person. I never progressed to the point of having actual intelligence. So...
You know a bunch of random shit, but not anything that's going to save anyone's life.
Yeah, not anything you can make money with, clearly. So, what ended up happening... This dude is sitting there yelling at these people... They can't take it out of the paper, the sterile like environment paper or whatever, the giant Q-tip. They can't break it through a piece of paper. I'm like, you can't break paper? Where are we right now? This is why we have a pandemic. Because you can't open something that's contained in paper. So I'm standing there like, can we just move this along, please? Because my nose is exposed now. I'm hanging out there. Like, my dick is out of my pants. And I'm
dick out.
Yeah, my dick is in, but my nose is out, but it feels like my dick is out. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, God, this is awful. So can we speed this thing along? So finally, he helps like 6 people. Lady has it upside down. He's like, ma'am, you need like the cotton part up. You know, you don't want to stick plastic in your, oh, God.
Unreal.
Yeah. So anyways, he goes, I'm going to tell you to stick it up. Stick it up in there to the point where it's uncomfortable, but it's not painful. That's how high you have to go.
What, they're trusting you to do it?
Yeah, they're making me do it.
Oh, that doesn't feel right.
That's what I was saying.
Because I would never voluntarily, like, I wouldn't even be able to physically do it as far as she shoved it up there. I would quit before it.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
don't
mean?
think I shoved it up far enough either.
No, I don't. Okay.
It's not, and I've had that problem for a long time.
No,
Mike.
it was familiar.
Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah, I've been in that situation many times over. So I'm sticking this thing up my nose. He goes, I want big circles. And I'm going to count to 15, and then you stop. So he's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By the time he gets to 5, I'm like, fuck, you know, like you, where you were like,
Yeah.
oh no.
Dude, fuck 15. There was no way that was happening.
Dude,
4 was hard. This guy's just being a dick at this point.
we all know how much you don't enjoy a hard 4. So here's the
No.
thing. Here's the thing. Dude, then he goes, then we're going to stop and we're going to do it in the other nostril. It's like, what? We're doing the other nostril? Hold on a minute. So, all right. So anyway, it's at 5 and I'm going, oh, Jesus Christ, you know, uncomfortable. But I'm like, all right, come on. You're a man. Let's muscle through this, you know, whatever you got to tell yourself. So I'm going, I pull it out, dude. Huge booger.
Oh, God.
Huge booger. On the end of this thing. And I'm looking around. No one else has a giant booger. I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, no. And then, dude, and then he says the worst thing ever. Now I want you to stick it up the other nostril. I'm like, dude, I'm going to put my one booger up my other nose. It's like reusing the same side of a Q-tip, bro. You don't do that. You flip.
Fucking gross.
Gross, dude. So I had to shove that other booger right back up in my other nostril.
Did it
Swirl
come
that
out
thing
again?
around. Dude, yeah, that thing was on there, bro. That was not coming off. It was cemented. So I'm sitting there. I'm done. Okay, I've twirled it for 15 seconds and my right one pulled out a giant booger. And I'm like, oh, no, I got to put it in my left nostril. 15 seconds there. And he's counting big circles, swirls, and it's miserable. It's awful. But the guy to my immediate left, he starts going, I'm not exaggerating. He sounded like
What'd he do?
he sounded like Schwarzenegger choking on like breakfast sausage, you know, like he's doing this, and I'm like looking at him like, what the fuck, dude? He starts going,
Oh, shit. He's sneezing.
Yeah, he starts to like, and I look over, I'm like, what the fuck? What is this all about? You know, dude, his mask is down below his chin, and obviously he's like, he's got the thing in his nose still, and then he starts going,
Jesus.
like this, and I look over at like the National Guard dude, and the National Guard guys, his eyes are just, it's absolute horror, because he's got the face shield, he's got the N95 on, he's got goggles, he's got the PPE, he's got everything, and he's still like backing away, and I'm like, yeah, fuck you, I'm out here next to him, you told me to take my mask off. Like, I could have put my mask up. I understand we're done with the nose thing, okay? But I'm waiting for your instructions, because you're talking to me like you're you know, goddamn North Korea.
What the fuck was wrong with the guy?
He just tickled his nose too much, so he started like sneezing, and he felt like he was choking. He was like choking on it, dude. And then the same guy, you know, because they want you to break off the piece that you were using, okay, and you throw away the end, and you put this little thing in this test tube, and you put the cap on the test tube,
okay,
and you put in like this little solution or whatever. This dude, he's like, yeah, no, okay, now break off the piece, put the top end into the test tube, and this guy's like trying to pull it off. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, you snap it. It's plastic. You have to snap it. You don't just pull it off. He's like, keep pulling. He's like, no. Go like this. Wiggle. So he's like, just taking it and he's wiggling the whole thing. I'm like, oh, wiggle the bottom piece, bro. The bottom piece. You got to snap it off. Oh, God damn it. I'm sitting here and I'm going, I think I got COVID now. How'd you get COVID? I got it testing for COVID.
Well,
because the guy next to me just expelled the virus. It's 85 feet. I've never heard a person sneeze like that in my life, Pike.
He just sounds like the biggest dumbass in the world.
He was a fucking idiot. And I
totally can picture him.
I got out of the testing place and I turned to my wife and I'm like, did you feel like you were Einstein in there? Because I felt like I was a fucking genius for the first time in my life. Because I knew how to break a plastic Q-tip. Like, have you never... Oh, God. So anyways,
I was skeptical of them letting you do it in the first place.
Yeah,
and you
why am I doing it?
You kind of screwed it up with the booger, too, but this guy fucking sucks.
Dude, it sucks, man. I felt like have you ever been in line at the self-checkout at the grocery store? Where you're like, no, you gotta, it's a scale. You gotta leave it on the scale. Why am I not? Okay. Do you not know how to spell bananas? You gotta look up the banana. You're searching my picture? Just type it. Start with a B. There's not a lot of fruit with B. And that's what I felt like. Except for my life is now in that guy's nasal cavity.
So have you got it back yet?
No, I just got it done today. So I imagine I'll get it done or get it back within like the next day or two.
Dude, you guys have that many cases? Why are you doing a 6-way testing? Like when I got tested, there was nobody in sight. It was like a fucking tumbleweed was blowing through the parking lot. I was the one guy in there, and there was one other person. She was wearing a hazmat suit. It was just us.
Now you know what E.T. felt like when they were taking him. No, dude, I don't know why. It was indoors, which I've always heard everything. Don't try not to be indoors, around people.
Sure.
Outdoor gatherings better where there's constant airflow. It was indoors. I was near a bunch of people. We did it ourselves. I'm like, what happened? The first one went by so fast. I rolled down my window. The dude shoved it in my mouth, and I drove away.
Right.
And I left a happy customer, Pike.
Yeah. Just the convenience there alone.
Yeah, dude. And it was an outdoor parking garage. You know what I mean? So you just pulled in. And you just left. And I don't know what happened.
Threw it in, pulled it out.
All smiles on my part. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's my long-winded COVID testing story. So if I come down with it later in like 2 weeks, now we know where it came from.
Right. All right. Well, it sounds like it's our last few shows together here. Let's have a good one, bud.
Yeah, let's have a good one. All right, let's get to the news that matters. How about you go first, since I've been chatting it up here this whole time?
All right, cool. I've been waiting for this one for like 12 years. Avatar 3 is almost done filming. Flip those words. And then I read that and I thought, wait a minute, was there an Avatar 2? No, there hasn't been. Like they're just filming both of them. And so the second one is just now they've announced it's going to come out in December of 2022, which is still like fucking 2 years away. Over 2 years.
Yeah.
But then they're also announcing the third one. So
they're shooting for it.
What year did this movie come out? It was like 2011?
I don't know, dude. All I know is I was not impressed. Were you impressed?
No, I slept through half of it. In fact, 3 of us went there and 3 of us fell asleep. And if it wasn't for those heavy-ass 3D goggles you had to wear, I probably would have, that was the only thing keeping me like half awake, figuring out what the hell is the deal there.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I don't understand the Avatar hype. I didn't think it was very good. I didn't think the CGI was like mind blowing. I just didn't think it.
Right. The plot was like just whatever. It was okay.
Yeah.
But for it to be like the biggest selling movie of all time or whatever,
yeah.
it didn't make a lot of sense. Yeah.
I completely agree with you. And they're shooting 4 of them at the same time. They're just going through and just shooting 4 movies.
Oh, they are? Oh.
Yeah.
That seems dumb, but I'm not going to question James Cameron.
Dude.
Michael Bay or whichever one.
James Cameron.
Yeah,
I think this is, I don't know if this is true, but I think I heard that James Cameron's only directed like 6 movies.
What?
And he's like the highest grossing director of all time or something like that.
Oh, he did Titanic, right?
He got Titanic.
Oh, shit.
He did Terminator 1 and 2. Avatar. I think he did The Abyss. That's 5. I know 5 James Cameron movies.
Jesus.
And I don't know what the 6th one is. And now he's going to like double the amount of movies he's done by doing like 4 Avatars in a row. It's like, dude, we do not need that many Avatars.
No.
The first one was not great. Like The Matrix was awesome. One of top 5 movie for me, The Matrix. Blew my mind.
Really? Okay.
Oh, yeah, dude. I cannot. I watch it. I'll probably just watch it this week just because I'm so fascinated.
Oh, Jesus.
I love it. But the second 2 movies that came out were not very good. You know what I mean? Like, no. I mean, they were okay, but a lot of people shit on them, and rightfully so. Like, they were not, come on. And I feel like we're that way with Avatar. You know what I mean? We don't need. It's now a money grab for the 4th time.
And you're right. The first one was just for like the effects and everything, but we've seen it now, so kind of over that part of it. The plot, like I don't even know anybody in the movie's name. I don't care what happens to those characters. Did he die at the end? I don't know.
I don't even remember.
Right.
Was Matt Damon in it?
No freaking clue.
I don't know. I have no idea who that guy was. Who was the lady? Is the lady from Aliens? Sigourney Weaver? Was she in it?
I don't know. Was it actually a lady or was it just computer animated? I don't know.
You have no idea what's happening. Pike does not give one shit. All right, here we go. Let's move on to mine because I have the dumbest, lightest story that is not going to impact the world at all. And I love every single second of it. And I feel like we need a little bit of this in our lives. Parrots at a British zoo have been swearing at people. So much so that they've had to move the parrots. They had to separate them. I guess the parrots were donated during the whole, when everybody was on lockdown, they got donated.
Okay.
And they were put together. And so all 4 of these parrots were donated. They all knew different swear words and they all started swearing at each other and they all started learning swear words. So now as people are walking by, they go, the number one thing they keep calling people is a fat twat, which is the fun.
And they're probably not wrong.
They're like, fat twat, when they walk by.
People are like, hey, I'm working on it, okay?
So awesome. Yeah. This guy, his name's Nicholas. He goes, I get called a fat twat every time I walk past, which is come on. It doesn't get any better than that.
That's funny.
And then
dude, parrots are dickheads.
Total dickheads, dude. Total dickheads. The other ones they keep saying are fuck off. They keep yelling fuck off at people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember.
My buddy had a parrot growing up. It was the most annoying fucking thing in the world. But it actually also, I'm not even making this up, it said fuck off.
No
that was
way.
That was one of the things. It had like 6 or 7 things it would say. It would say, answer the phone. So even when the phone wasn't ringing, it would just be screaming, answer the phone.
Oh, dude. I hate birds. There's only 3 birds that I like in the world. Those are eagles, owls, and hummingbirds. Every other bird, get fucked. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to see you. Don't talk to me. Any bird, any animal that could talk.
Why those 3 birds?
They're all cool.
Why did you have that list ready?
I've been making it for years. No, I don't know. Just off the top of my head. I like eagles, I like owls, and I like hummingbirds.
Dude,
every other bird
will eat you.
An owl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're fucking.
They're badass, dude. Their heads swivel. It's cool. Other than that, Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Eagle, you're looking at, I mean, that's like alpha predator right there, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Reminds
cool.
me of America, too.
Yeah. And then you got hummingbird, which is like, you know, awesome. Those things, yeah, they fly around, they can hover. That's cool. Don't wince at the hummingbird.
They're kind of like bugs. It's like a big bug. I wouldn't even call it a bird.
How
We put out
dare you?
feeders for them. What the fuck are we feeding
This
them
is the
for?
most offensive thing you've ever told me
What?
on this podcast.
That I'm anti-hummingbird?
Yeah, you're anti-hummingbird.
I don't know why you give a shit, to be honest.
I love hummingbirds. They're cool, man. They drink nectar. They got a
Okay.
big long tongue. They can hover.
I don't know.
All right, fine.
I don't care. I don't care enough to continue to argue about.
You goddamn right.
hummingbirds. Like,
You goddamn right, Pike.
fine. They're cool. They're cool.
But here's the thing about parrots. I don't like animals that are smart. I don't like them. I don't trust them. An animal that can rat you out, you know what I mean? It's gonna sit
Yeah.
there and narc and tell people what you did. No. I don't need
That's
that.
like the
at
only
all.
one.
Yeah. Well, that and that gorilla that had no sign language.
Yep.
God knows what kind
Uh,
of gossip that fucking thing was talking
Coco.
about.
Yeah. who
Yeah.
knows?
Coco. Coco was a gossipy bitch. I guarantee it. In the back, they're like, well, I saw him taking supplies out of the closet, whatever. And you're like, fuck you, Coco.
Yeah. Jesus.
No one
Coco
asked
thought you were cool.
Yeah. God damn.
Uh.
I know you know how to talk, but you don't have to say everything on your mind. Jesus. So, I don't trust animals. I like my animals dumb and happy. Like when I saw Dr. Dolittle, I thought it was a horror film. Hearing animals' thought patterns and everything, disgusting. I don't want to know any of that nonsense.
I've never seen the film, but I don't think it's a horror film.
You've never seen any. Have you seen all
I didn't see
six?
The Matrix either. I didn't have the heart to tell you though, because you were so like you were rock hard about it. So
You've never seen
Yeah.
The Matrix?
no,
What are you doing? What are you doing?
not watching those films. I watched Dumb and Dumber and Home Alone mostly, and that was good enough. That a
Yeah.
tough one to swallow?
I just don't understand.
I didn't see The Matrix.
You got to see The Matrix.
Okay,
At this point, you're going to be like, this is stupid. But you got to keep
I feel
in
like it's too
mind,
late now.
it came out in 1999. Like, how insane
Right.
is that? How way ahead of its time. But whatever. I digress. What do you got? What's your story?
This one, music related. You know the band AC/DC? They are announcing. They just announced today that they're coming out with a new album. Which, like, what?
Really?
I don't know when the last one they came out with, but I was pretty sure they were like just donezo, right? Because when's the last hit they had? They've been what 70s and 80s, right?
Dude, what? Last hit they had. It's the same
AC/DC?
song over and over again. Every song they put out, it's the exact same one. Yeah, it's fucking awesome. But you don't like AC/DC?
No, like they're. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Like they're not a band I like. They're just a band that exists, and their songs you've just heard so many times. They're just kind of like you just hear them at events. I would never put on music and like crank up an AC/DC, like Hell's Thunderstruck or whatever. Like Thunderstruck to me has almost become Journey's Don't Stop Believing.
I mean, that's kind of a fair point. It is become wallpaper, an innocuous,
Exactly.
and it's just become like, you know, a thing that you get every other time to time. However, dude, Thunderstruck is still probably the greatest intro to a song of all time.
I feel like we could argue that, but it's iconic. I will give you that. It is, like,
Dude.
it's cool for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the beginning of the song is like one of the best beginnings of a song ever. At
I'm
least
not-
top 10. I would put it in top 10.
Okay, thank you. Because I'm not one to just say like, just because we're talking about it, like, oh, this is maybe the best ever. Well, come on now. Like, pretty sure there's. I'm trying to think of even like Hotel California would shit on that, wouldn't it? And that's just one.
No.
You don't like that? Okay.
No, I mean, the Eagles are great. Don't get me wrong, but Hotel California intro over Thunderstruck intro? No.
I don't know.
No,
Whatever, man.
not at all.
They got a new album coming out. I know one of them died recently. You
Yeah.
might see your like old uncle share it on Facebook every year, thinking it just happened. And then somebody comments
Yeah.
like, this happened 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's always that guy. It's like that guy and Wilford Brimley, who recently died, but I thought he was dead like a long time ago.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah. No, Malcolm from AC/DC died.
Malcolm Young, Angus's brother.
Angus's brother. And then Brian Johnson, he was supposed to be deaf. Like they kicked him out of the band because his hearing was going.
Oh, yeah, shit.
So
How can you sing without hearing?
have you heard him?
That's I have. I mean, not recently. No.
He's never heard himself either. But, no, he's just screaming at the top of his lungs. He'd be fine as long as he could scream.
I suppose. Yeah.
But I've never seen AC/DC, and it's one of my big concert regrets. I've had the opportunity to see him twice, and I've passed on both times. So
Well, they got a new album, so I assume they're going to come around again.
Yeah,
so
but
you might have a shot.
I wouldn't go see him. They're so
They're like
old
70
now,
they're
dude.
70. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
Dude, I cannot imagine
I don't
going
know.
to see like bands you grew up liking because you like them because they're like the music's good, but they're also these rock stars that you kind of idolize. But when they're old as shit, it's just a whole different thing. I don't know. It kind of loses.
yeah. You're
It's
like,
like seeing rock stars get old.
they're mortal. Oh, no.
I know.
That's kind of sad. I understand. I know exactly what you mean. I kind of see it in Rage. I'm supposed to go see Rage Against the Machine, but obviously that's been canceled for the whole thing. So I hope they can continue.
Dude, I know.
Just
I had
crushing
tickets
it.
too.
You did?
Yeah, for Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I was gonna go.
They were
My
playing
whole
Sioux
band-
Falls? Awesome.
Yeah, they were playing in Minneapolis too, but we had tickets. It was obviously canceled, and it sucks because, like you said, who knows? They only play like when's the last time they played live? You know?
2011. I was there.
Damn.
Dope. Yeah. LA. I know exactly. Yeah. Maybe I should go see AC/DC because you're right. At that time, they are mortal and they're not going to be around forever.
Yeah.
And so I understand.
Do it.
Look,
Buy those tickets.
dude,
All right, go ahead.
I'll tell you this much because you got to enjoy life while you can because this lady made me reflect on it. Did you hear about the lady that was found at sea?
No.
They found this lady at sea. She was just
What was she
floating.
doing?
She was floating. She was just like floating around at sea. Yeah. And they pulled up, they threw her a life preserver, and she was like so exhausted she couldn't talk. 1.8 miles out from the coast of Colombia. She's just out in the ocean floating around. Like, what? And then it turns out she's been missing for 2 years.
What?
Yeah. She was missing for
What?
2 years. I read the backstory. The backstory is incredibly sad. So let's talk about it. No,
Yeah.
she was in this abusive relationship where, you know, it must be her husband. They had like 2 kids and she couldn't leave because of the kids. Like he was abusing her and beating her and she was pregnant and the whole thing. Anyways, she was miserable. After the second child was born, she ran off. She like disappeared for 2 years. She ran to another city. She fell in this huge, deep depression. She was homeless. She tried to get help. It didn't work out. And she's like, I'm just going to go walk into the ocean. And that's what she did. So she walks into the ocean, loses consciousness. And the next thing she knows, she's being rescued by a boat as she's just floating in the water. She has hypothermia. She's has like exhaustion. She's like completely I don't want to say delusional, but what is that when you see things?
Hallucinating?
Yeah, she's like hallucinating and stuff. Yeah, dude. And they're like, these guys thought she was a log, and it's hilarious because the article said that they picked up the waterlogged woman. I was like, okay,
Why is
don't
that in
call
the
her.
story?
Yeah.
What?
This lady just went through hell and back, and you call her waterlogged? Come on,
Is that an
man.
actual medical condition? Waterlogged? What the? Dude.
What's wrong with you? I
She's
almost
living.
died. I was too waterlogged. But yeah, she ended up living. Like, how do you pass out in the ocean and you just float? Like, I can't even float. We talked about this.
We did.
We have trouble floating when we're conscious.
Dude, I would sink right away. And then we also briefly discussed whether or not your anus could keep the water out. And if it can't, you're going to sink like an anchor. This lady, she's got the perfect frame for that.
Yeah. Yeah. She's fine being waterlogged in a really tight beehole. So it won't take water in. God knows if she has too relaxed of a butt, you're drowning. I mean, there's no way around it.
Yeah. And it sounds like she had been out of a relationship for a couple of years, so maybe that contributed.
Yeah, I can't imagine getting to the point where you're like, I'm just going to go walk into the ocean.
Yeah.
And then
I thought she was in a boat or like a little Tom Hanks raft or some shit, but no, she just walked out.
Bro, they found her. She's fully clothed. She's got her shoes on and everything. And, like, he's like, what is that? And the lady just raises her hand. And on video, they're like, oh, shit. You know, like, they didn't know it was a person. They're like, well, what is that? Two fishermen. And so, yeah, dude, the whole thing is just a crazy story. But I hope what would you do after that? I mean, would you be like, I'm supposed to be alive, man?
I hope so. Because obviously she went in there assuming she was dying. So I hope this is something for her to go, you know what? Maybe I'll stick around. I hope anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine if she goes back into that house with that dude.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be
like I'm trying
awful?
I know. I'm trying to laugh about the waterlogged thing and the anus, but there was just so much sad with that story. I'm struggling. You know?
I know. Well, I'll tell you what, dude. She put him on blast now. The whole world knows that he's a piece of shit. So hopefully,
screw that guy.
Yeah. If it was a secret before, everyone's on her side. So hopefully she can turn around. I guess her daughter reached out to her. It's like, come on back, you know. So I was like, ugh. I don't know if I'd go back.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'd try moving. I would just take your kids and go and get the fuck out of there.
I know. Easier said than done.
I know. Hey, Hey, I was going to suggest we do a breakdown today, but since this one's going so long because of my giant odyssey called a COVID test, I say we save it for tomorrow. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
All right, perfect. So that's it for the show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. He is at Pike Taylor Radio on all social media. There it is. You got anything to say about that, Pike?
My social media?
Yeah. This is your pitching part. You got to pitch.
Yeah,
you got to pitch it.
I don't know. On Twitter, I'm mostly pissed about the Twins sucking. So if you want to go like see how pissed I am about that, that's available. Otherwise, it's just a lot of lighthearted, fun stuff. No politics. I even refrained from commenting on the whatever the hell
on the debate last night.
Yeah. I watched the whole thing, but I'm like, you know what? Nothing I could say right now is new because everybody had the same reaction, I'm sure.
Yeah. I just can't believe it. Like, who's still undecided? Like, that's so funny to me. It's like you have people who are 100% bought into Trump or 100% who are not bought into Trump. And then who the fuck are these people that are still like, oh, I don't know. I'm
really
not
like
sure.
to hear a little more about the policies. I don't get it because there was none of that last night. That's for sure.
I know. You know the guy who takes like 16 minutes in the drive-thru, like ordering food? Like that's the one fucking undecided guy left. It's like, would you just pick already? You know? God. People have already voted in the election. They've already the states have already voted. You still don't know now at this point?
Some of them are also missing in creeks and ponds and shit.
That's a good point. Yeah, touche. Well, there you go. Yeah, dude, I was watching the Indians game, speaking of the Twins, and I turned over to the debate, and I was like, you know, it's really sad when this debate is better than the Indians game, because that's how bad the Indians game was.
Yeah, man.
Lost 12.
It was like, it was good for a laugh or two. I will give it that. The debate. The Indians game, it sounded like too, but.
Oh, dude, it was brutal. It was brutal. Last night was not a good night. So, all right, well, there you go. Thank you. He's at Pike Taylor Radio on all social media. I'm at Sparks Radio on all social media. Thanks so much for hanging out. If you could, hit subscribe, leave a comment, give us a review, tell us what you like, what you don't like about the show. And then, of course, we're always trying to make it better for you. But if you want a free Sparks Radio sticker, all you got to do is follow and DM me on Instagram at Sparks Radio, and I will mail you one. I'll drop one in the mail for you when you DM me your address. It's super easy. I got a whole batch of stickers coming in. Once I get them in, I send them right out to you as our way of saying thank you and appreciate you hanging out with us. All right. Until then, we'll see you and talk to you tomorrow.
See ya.